The successor to the LG G6 is here, and it's called the LG G7 ThinQ. That's Think with a Q. For the sake of simplicity, we're going to just call this handset the G7. Upon first impressions, the phone feels considerably thicker in the hands compared to the Galaxy S9 and iPhone X. It measures in at 7.9 millimeters thick, so I wouldn't label it as chunky, but I also wouldn't label it as slim. It does feel noticeably lighter than its competitors though, for whatever that's worth. The glass back is new and it's extremely slippery. It also feels more like plastic than some of the other glass-backed smartphones that I have used. I miss the rear-facing volume and power buttons from the early days. The headphone jack is always nice to see. This particular port, it features support for a 32-bit quad DAC. It also allows LG to incorporate DTS:X virtual surround sound, the very first for a smartphone, which virtually creates 7.1 channel audio. Also new this time around is a physical button for the Google Assistant. A single press will open up the Assistant and have it start listening to commands, while a long press will open the Assistant and have it start listening to commands, and will immediately act upon whatever you say as soon as you release the button. It's sort of like how a walkie-talkie operates. My only complaint thus far is that when you have a lock screen, it requires you to unlock your phone first before you can start speaking to the Assistant. I wish you could give the Assistant a command and then be prompted to unlock your phone before it's able to act on it. It's a much better system that way. There is a big, beautiful 6.1-inch IPS LCD display with a cutout for the camera, call speaker, and ambient light sensors at the top, which you can black out if you don't like the look of the notch. It features a 3120 by 1440 resolution, it supports Dolby Vision, and is HDR10 compliant. It also can be cranked up to 1000 nits, which literally outshines most other flagships to help it excel in outdoor visibility. With that said, it's not an OLED panel, so black colors don't appear as true to color. There's no inherent battery-saving features, and colors don't appear to be nearly as vibrant. If you used an LG G smartphone recently, you'll find a very familiar software experience. It's running Android 8.0 Oreo out of the box, with a pretty heavy skin on top. The default launcher gives you the option to add or remove an app drawer, and Google Now is a swipe away to the right. You can also view conversations, events, documents, and recent apps by swiping down from the top of the screen. Now, I have noticed some choppy animations here and there, but the phone does open and load content extremely fast. It just doesn't always do so in a buttery smooth manner. I imagine the performance is only going to get better though, as more updates are pushed to this device over the next few days and weeks. The Snapdragon 845 chipset under the hood is paired with 6GB of RAM, meaning it's on par with just about every 2018 smartphone currently on the market. It should handle just about everything you throw at it. It was able to handle all of my social media usage and light gaming over the past few days. LG has included dual 16-megapixel camera sensors, one f1.6 aperture standard sensor, and one f.9 wide-angle sensor with a 107-degree field of view. Both feature optical image stabilization, face detection autofocus, and manual control settings. The main shooter is able to capture some beautiful images that rival the best of mobile cameras, but it's the wide-angle sensor that I personally enjoy using the most because I'm able to capture some beautiful, large landscape images with a sense of scale that most mobile camera sensors aren't able to capture. It's really what separates this phone from the others. The speaker is also fairly unique. The phone's boombox speaker is apparently 10 times louder than that of a typical smartphone. LG has also managed to increase the bass response by more than 6 decibels and can be amplified even further when the phone is placed on a solid surface or box. After testing it against the iPhone X, yeah, it's considerably louder and the bass is definitely more pronounced. The highs do seem to suffer a little though, and unfortunately sound is only blasted out via the bottom-facing speaker. There's no dual speaker setup going on here, unfortunately. Battery life is solid, though it's hard to say how well it'll hold up with long-term use as it only features a 3000 mAh battery. I'm left scratching my head as to why this phone's battery is smaller than the LG V30, yet it's considerably thicker. It also doesn't have a battery-saving OLED display. So the LG G7 ThinQ has a ton of potential, but there are still some things missing before we can recommend it to users. First of all, we have yet to hear about the price of this handset. We also have yet to experience Google Lens on the G7, a software feature that can bring up relevant information using visual analysis. It's rolling out to the G7 very soon, and we look forward to testing it, but it's just not here yet. One thing is for sure though, if you're a fan of the LG G5, G6, or V30, you should really enjoy the G7 as it has many of the same features with updated specifications for 2018. With that said, let me know what you think of the LG G7 ThinQ in a comment down below. I'm BoHD from PhoneDoc.com. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you right back here in the next one. See ya.